A mass shooting happened in Orlando that claimed the lives of 49 individuals, including the shooter himself. Fortunately, there was a similar plot in Los Angeles that was foiled by local police forces. Now, this shooter, or would-be shooter, is James Wesley Howell, and according to Santa Monica police officials, he apparently had a small arsenal and admitted that he was planning on going to the gay pride parade. Now, initially, there was a police officer who had posted on Twitter that Howell had mentioned that he planned on going to the gay pride parade to harm gay people, but that was later changed. Apparently, there was some sort of miscommunication, which, to be completely honest with you guys, I'm not buying. He was from Indiana, came to Los Angeles, had a small arsenal, and said he was planning on going to the gay pride parade. Thankfully, he got caught before anything bad happened. But for anyone who's saying, oh no, there's no evidence that he was going to cause any harm, sure, you keep telling yourself that. Now, Howell was arrested Sunday after telling police officers he was en route to LA Pride, where, again, originally it was said that he wanted to harm the event. He was heavily armed with what police called a small arsenal in his car. Police found him sitting in a car registered in Indiana, and a search warrant turned up 3 assault rifles, high-capacity magazines, ammunition, and a 5-gallon bucket with chemicals that could be used to create an explosive device. He was arrested within the last year after pointing a gun in a threatening manner at a neighbor during an argument. So he's been in situations in the past where he's posted anti-gay, right-wing propaganda. He absolutely despises, liberal politicians. I'll give you just one example of something that he had posted on Facebook. So he had compared Hillary Clinton to Hitler. He said, he quoted Hitler, society's needs come before the individual's needs. And then he quoted Hillary Clinton, trying to draw comparisons between the two. So again, luckily he was caught. Luckily, he is in custody. His bail is set at $500,000, so it's unlikely he's going to be out anytime soon. And he is awaiting a trial date, which I believe will be on Tuesday.
So here we have, right, a potential killer. Now, my agenda, of course, very reminiscent of what we've already probably talked about. I'm sure a lot of them, you guys talked about it in the first hour. Mm-hmm. We can talk about the laws and everything that has to be changed, right? But my agenda also, along with that, is how he is portrayed to certain, I would say, through certain aspects of the media. Fox News, for example, right? So we have a potential killer, same agenda, different skin color, different stereotype, but he's got the same agenda, which is evil. And how is he portrayed? No, he's not. He didn't have any sort of terrorist motive. He didn't have any sort of terrorist obligation to go out and cause mass harm. And therefore, they overlook the fact that here's another man able to get his hands on guns after the fact that he's already been found out to have wanted to use guns. Why? Because they're fun as hell. I see if I hear that excuse one more time. We had it 3 or 4 months ago when there was this guy who shot across his neighbor's window because it was something to do. Because he had all these guns, and what do you do when you have all these guns? Oh, you want to use them. So they're given the freedom to go out and potentially use them until someone gets hurt. He had the same objective that the same killer in Orlando had. He just never had the ability to go and follow it through.
And the reason why he got caught is because he was parked in some neighborhood looking very suspicious, and thankfully someone living in that neighborhood alerted the police, and police came and investigated, and they found that he had that smart arsenal. Let me ask you something. For anyone who's saying like, no, he didn't plan to do any harm to that gay pride parade. Okay, why did he have chemicals for an explosive device? Why did he have 3 assault weapons? Why did he have a small arsenal? This guy's from Indiana. He clearly does not like gay people, and he's used violent rhetoric, threatening rhetoric in the past. Here, I'll give you another example. He gave the Louisville Metro Police Department a 1-star review 2 months ago saying, they are slow as fuck, so they only get 1 finger as I'm shifting gears.
So that takes it back to this culture that you mentioned in the previous clip. It's this culture that embraces the fact that there's guns easily accessible wherever you go, right? And it's a culture that's portrayed consistently through movies, everything else. But these guns are accessible. Do we need to mention the gun used again in Florida, the AR-15, a gun that just has such savage, I would say, interpretation around it. It's used for slaughter. And it's used to fire between 20 rounds so that you can kill en masse. It's not used because it's fun. It's not out there. It's used to go and commit mass killings. And it obviously ties with Sandy Hook, and it ties in previous mass shootings, and it's readily available in Florida. Easier to obtain than a car. And it's still circulating.
Yep.
And it's because people like this want to get their hands on it because it's fun. I don't want to just be able to shoot one handgun and shoot one round at a time. I want to be able to shoot 15 and 20 by because it's badass. I love my guns, and I love to be able to shoot that in magnitude.
And I think there's another point that we need to talk about is that, you know, that these were two attacks, one thwarted against the LGBT community. And I forget because I live in Los Angeles and I was at Gay Pride in LA, and it was one heck of a party that this guy didn't ruin. I'm telling you, it was a really, really happy, joyful, supportive day, and it was important. That this country actually, truly is not down with the gays. We like to celebrate it in the media. We like to talk about orange is the new black. We like to love one. You know, look at love one in the Supreme Court. That's not the case. I mean, yeah, we've made strides, but there are people that hate me, Anna. There are people that will hate me because I'm holding my girlfriend's hand.
Yep.
And I'm a comedian. I'm fine to brush that off because I try not to give myself a minute to pause and think about how far that hate could go. I go to gay clubs all the time. They're the best clubs. Everyone knows that. Everyone's allowed to get in. You can kind of wear what you want. You can dance. The music's better. Share is better. Everyone knows that, okay? Look, sexuality is a choice, and I chose better. No, it's not. But what I'm trying to say is that I would have been at Pulse. You know, it's very possible I would have been at Pulse. You know, and
this could have happened anywhere, okay? It was likely to happen at Gay Pride in Los Angeles if the police department in Santa Monica didn't investigate this guy and catch him. That's the reality of the matter, right?
But it's this perfect combination of the access that people have to guns, like you were talking about, Francis, with the hate that is still pretty much unaddressed. Read any YouTube comments of any video I'm in. You'll see it. There is hate there. There is actual hate there. And the scary thing that I have kind of chosen not to think about, but now I'm being forced to think about, is that people, when they hate enough, can go out and do something about it. Can hate me, can hate gay people, can hate whatever lifestyle so much that they can just go and do that. And every community, I mean, we saw it in South Carolina, you know, at a historically black church with, you know, with kids at Sandy Hook. And that didn't, and now gay people, what community will it be?
Well, you know what enables these people more than anything, and definitely encourages them, is we have a political party that demonizes the LGBT community, fearmongers about the LGBT community. You know, a lot of people were giving me flack because we were covering the transgender bathroom stories. Yeah, you know what? I'm proud that we covered those stories because it's important to debunk the ridiculous fear-mongering that you see from the right wing in this country about the transgender community. When you have an entire political organization or group talking about, oh, these people, they're gonna rape everyone. Well, what do you think it does to unhinged, unstable individuals like this guy, right? It encourages them to carry out acts of violence. Yeah. And so you're right. There is a tremendous amount of intolerance. I think that a lot of people are distracted by the positive strides that the gay community has made in, you know, same-sex marriage and stuff like that. But the reality is, in various states, there are still no protections for gay individuals. People are still able to discriminate against them openly and freely. And again, we have politicians. These are supposed to be our leaders, fear-mongering about the community.
Yeah, here's the thing to think about in Florida, just really quickly. If you are one of the 53 people who are injured, and I hope that that's still the number, if you're one of the 53 people that are injured from what happened at Pulse, you can legally in Florida be fired for missing work if they find out that you are gay because of that. Just something to think about, okay? And another thing, I saw a really good tweet from a comedian, and she said, you're afraid to be in bathrooms with us. We don't want to be anywhere near you. Yeah. So you're right. You guys did a really good job of covering the transgender issue, and it's important to acknowledge that this was an attack on the LGBT community and the hate that is still very much alive and well in this country towards my community, and I'm fucking sick of it.
And you mentioned it there, so it's the hate that has just plagued this country in many different aspects, race, where it's the LGBT community, anything. But it's the accessibility that no other country, and as I continue to mention, that upholds Western values, has the readily accessible tools to go and take that agenda to the next level and go and perform it. It's a green light. Every single country in the world has madmen. Every single country in the world has madmen, mad women, people that want to go and perform atrocities. But let's be honest, no other country in the world of the same magnitude as the US gives them the ability to go and pursue that. Gives them the almost just directly the word, the freedom to go and obtain these tools that can go and cause it. Are we insane that we are a network that covers this? And then I look at the Fox story and I go back to that again. And rather than connect the ties between all of these tragedies, what do they zone in on? Good old ISIS. Zone in on the ISIS part, because you know what that does? That clouds everything else.
It's a good distraction.
It's a distraction away from the one sole common denominator, the weapons. The weapons, it's a common denominator, but instead, because of certain political values, they don't want to loosen their purse strings. They don't want to loosen the fact that they'll be able to lose out on certain, I would say, sources of income, because they don't want to focus on that. So rather than look at the common denominator, what's the easy option? We'll focus on ISIS, because then we'll get everyone riled up and we'll get everyone continuing to buy these weapons.